Hey, you've tuned into Gila Nehemiah's Sacred Erotic Poetry, Sacred Sexuality, and Ascension podcast. Thank you for those of you who've been patient. I have been off the air for a week or two. Last week I tried to record and I just had so many challenges. I think, at least 3 or 4 takes, and it didn't work out. So here I am again. And I hope that this records. I want to just thank everybody who's been watching. Radha, Neela, and I have been doing a couple of podcasts on women who write on my channel, so I hope you've been listening to that. And another one's going to come out for us this week as well. And I'm excited to be here in this really amazing energy. 7/7 was just last week, July 7th, and we're moving into the Lionsgate 8/8 portal next month. So this is a really, I don't know if you've been feeling it, but so many amazing formations are starting to take shape, and I'm seeing my dreams really align into something that I can tangibly both see, hold, and touch. So I hope you're feeling the same, and if you aren't, I hope this podcast gives you some direction or at least some creative ideas on how to make that happen. So without waiting any longer, let's just dive in. I thank you for being here. I invite you to continue to listen, to expand your mind, expand your consciousness, and expand your body wisdom to really step into the depth and breadth of all that you are. So let's take 3 deep breaths together and do an invocation. Please close your eyes, and if you're driving, don't close your eyes. Keep looking on at the road, and let's when we take a deep breath, really breathe deep from in your diaphragm and go all the way up to your higher chakras. So let's do that now. We're calling in the womb of the Mother Earth. We're calling in all of our ancestors, all of the generations that have passed, all of our spirit animals, God, Source, Universe, to assist us as we move forward or move sideways, or we keep moving wherever we're going on our sacred journey. We're calling in our deep body wisdom, our hearts to connect together in love and in freedom, and to open up into this completely new paradigm that all of us know innately within and have somehow forgotten on the way. So we're also calling in that deep remembrance. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Aho, and so it is. So I wanted to concentrate today on a couple of topics that have been on my mind. One, I wanted to also just share thank you for our Palladian brothers and sisters, Andromedans, Sirius, wherever you're from, Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu, to thank you for helping us, to guide us, our guides and spirits as well, to assist us as we are moving into our true abundance codes. Because I'm actually seeing this happen, and I really have felt this deeply for the past few years, recently maybe 2 years, that I've been very much intense on connecting to this. And I feel like it's not just connecting to this because I needed it in my life. It was connecting it because I knew that this is a reality, can be a reality if you desire it. You know, so many people struggle on a daily basis, as I did, you know, with just, you know, getting, shit done, you know, right? Getting stuff done, you know, whether it's like, you know, putting fuel in your car or buying groceries or whatever it is, getting your children fed, you know, sometimes these things can be really, really challenging. And wherever we are in that timeline, you know, it's continually evolving, and it's not just about finances. It's also about your abundance codes. You know, that's a deeper question. You know, it's like when people are struggling, it's not about the immediate issue, which is definitely the ones on our mind, right? Why am I talking about this? Well, I feel like this balance of energy, this balance that I have been striving towards of the masculine and feminine, much of it has to do with that whole aspect of security, and money is just energy. So part of what I wanted to talk about is like gender and balance, and you know, as we move into this new template of being, what does that mean in terms of our actions? What does that mean in terms of how our dreams are going to manifest? You know, what does it mean in terms of our healing? So I just am going to share some thoughts that I've been having. You know, I feel like, you know, one, I know that this has been an ongoing theme for me in these podcasts is worth. You know, one, to really know your worth means that there is limitless possibility for each and every one of us, regardless of whatever gender we are. And even then, when we talk about gender, you know, sometimes I feel like that in and of itself is limiting. Yes, we come with a lot of different, you know, bodily parts, and, you know, many of that is very important. You know, the work that Radha and I are going to be doing is about the womb, and that's super important. And I also feel as we heal these parts, as we step into more of who we are and our authentic selves, the gender separation is going to be less and less. And we're going to, you know, because I feel like I'm starting to do this. And so, like, we're going to continue to see each other for the depths of our soul and our hearts and our consciousness. You know, so those, even, of course, everything exists, right? You know, the color of your skin, the color of your eyes, the color of your hair, you know, our body wisdom, our shapes of our body, all of that really exists. And I'm not trying to strip anybody of that. That makes each of us unique. And also a part of that is that we are these amazing multidimensional light beings. So how do we access that if we are focused on you know, on the physical, right? It's like we are we move through the physical to get into the eternal. This is really what has been coming to me. So like our first interaction, let's say, with an intimate partner is through the physical, right? We are looking at them, we're seeing who they are, you know, we are like seeing if we have any chemistry together. We touch, we do all sorts of different things together, you know, we spend time together, we just stay in their energy. And as we continue to grow with each other, you know, the physical begins to fade. And I'm not saying the attraction fades, but the immediate physical fades into depth and breadth, you know, as with any friend. So it doesn't have to just be with a person who you're intimate with. It's with any friend, any being, really, even your children, your animals, you know, like all of the physicality begins to change because you really understand and feel more of their unique signature. And I feel like that's where relationships are going. That's where I feel like my relationships are going, because that's where I'm going with myself. So I'm inviting everyone who's listening to this today to move more into unity within. So how does that relate to where I started, right? How does that even relate to money and our masculine and feminine energies? Well, the way it relates is that the way that we hold ourselves, the way that we see our lives unfolding, no longer has these structures of our social conditioned structures of gender. Right? We are, as we're healing our wombs, as we're healing our hearts, as we're healing our souls, as we're healing our bodies, we're moving into this template of total unity within ourselves, first and foremost, meaning and our abundance codes. So that's how money gets involved, because money is energy, and each and every one of us has unlimited potential to create billions, if not more. You know, there is actually an unlimited source of anything that we want. So the more that we begin to tap into that with this unity consciousness, with this deep awareness and presence of our worth and our unlimited potential, our creative unlimited potential, that's when there is no stopping us. That's when we become limitless, or we already are. In actuality, we already are limitless. And I'm not saying that problems don't exist. And I'm not saying that issues between people don't exist. We all know that they do. And I'm not trying to say that I am solving all problems. What I'm trying to say here is that there is the potential to be equal with each and every one of us, right? With all countries. We don't see that right now, though the way we step into that is through our own unfolding, through our own dreams, through our own template of what we believe we can create with our realities. At first, it is thought. That's how everything happens, right? At first is a thought. It is maybe a dream that we fantasize about. And then when we can receive that dream, it starts to become our reality. For some, for many, for myself as well, we can struggle for years. Why, we can ask ourselves, why are we struggling? Why does it seem so hard? Why does it seem like we can't ever get what we want? I don't have the answer for that. There is no specific answer for that. I know what I have done is to just accept and surrender. Like last week, what I was going to share with you was I was listening. I had a very challenging week before 7/7. It was like everything was falling apart. And it was more of like an internal breakdown. It was like more of kind of like an emotional breakdown because I suddenly saw the truth of all things. That I didn't really see before. I just like there was this new lens that I didn't even plan on putting on, but was like put on me. It was like God, Source, Universe said, okay, I'm taking off all of your cloaks and am allowing you to see the truth. Or my higher self was saying that to me. I don't know. But suddenly everything became clear. Like every being that I connected or interacted with, I just saw with deep clarity. And it wasn't anything that was said or done or anything like that. It was just like, I just saw clarity. And I said to myself, you know what, if this is the clarity that I'm seeing, I get to really decide what my new template is. And that means the canvas is ripped off. All the colors are changed. I'm now using a whole new tool set. That's how deep I felt. And I felt like a lot of the trauma that I had still been holding on to had to just be released. And it couldn't come in explainable terms, right? It just like, I was just crying for a lot of time, many hours. I couldn't stop it. Even in my spiritual practice in the morning, I was uncontrollably crying. And I just allowed it. I went into it. I just flowed with it because I know that there is memory in tears, in water, and we are all, over 70% water. So it was a purging, and it continues to happen, and I just allow it. It's just in smaller doses now. Though I felt like this truth is really stepping me into my dreams, and it might not have been what I had fantasized about. Or with the people that I fantasized about, it was just going to turn out however it's going to turn out, and I was grateful for it. Every turn of the coin, every new corner that we turn into, whether we're driving or we're walking or whatever we're doing, is opening a new door. Every ending is a new beginning. Every sunset leads to a sunrise. And so like, I know these are like things that we say, but there is a real deep truth to it. And so the more that we dedicate our lives to the unity of ourselves and the true love of all beings, we're going to see that in our lives, whether it's in a small community, a large community. Everything shapes our world. We all have different lenses that we look at the world in. Some of us look at it through economics. Some of us look at it through staring at the sky and the stars. Some of us look at it through music. Some of us look at it through words. Some of us look at it through nature. Or we look at it through all these different lenses, and then we begin to integrate and process it. So I'm speaking from my perspective that I see a huge change happening already from many, many of us. And I've shared some of this in some of the groups that I participate in. And I've seen overwhelming responses of other people sharing the same thing. I also attended an amazing event that I facilitated last week in Guidely, and it was a really nice event where I shared my intuitive prompts with I don't know, about 10 people, and we had a really nice discussion over the course of about an hour, and I guided them through a meditation as well. And I felt like I was on this high. That's what was so incredible. I felt like I was on such a high, and then I just fell. And it was so unexpected with this emotional breakdown, and it was really necessary because I felt like as 7/7 rolled on, I almost didn't even realize it. I was like, whoa, today is 7/7, and I was still like on this high, and I'm still in it. I'm like, I feel like I've reached another vibrational plane. And it happened somewhat gradually, though I had to have that breakdown to move there, to shift into that space. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that if something that you've been struggling for, and I know that abundance is definitely a big one because a lot of us have struggles. Some people don't, but a lot of us do. And I feel that the healing and the dedication to my journey has really helped me to tap into it wherever I am on that plane and on that timeline. I feel like I'm tapping deeper and deeper into it and clearing things out as slowly as it goes or as fast as it goes. It's not about a race, right? It's about stepping into it and doing what's needed in order to move forward. This great retreat and live webinar, we're doing two things that are live, Radha, Neela, and I, and you're going to, if you're on my channel, you know about it. There's a live retreat. We've changed the date to October 21st to 23rd. We're moving it a little bit further into fall because for various reasons, and we feel like this is the right time. So those of you that are interested, I'm going to be posting a webpage on it, and I'm going to be posting some more details, so stay tuned. We'll be doing quite a lot of things. I actually would like you to listen to our next podcast on Women Who Write, where we go into more detail. So I'm not going to get into too much detail here, but I would definitely recommend, if you are on this healing journey of connecting and channeling your womb and wanting to heal and totally tap into that creativity and that abundance template and codes, I would invite you to join. There is an application process. You can go to my website and see the application, and you can fill it out and send it to us. And I'll update the dates on that as well. And we are also a few weeks before, on September 13th, we're offering a live 90-minute webinar. And it's focusing on womb rage, especially because I know those of you who may be in the States or in other places of the world, this is happening really all over. There have been some, how do I say, there's been a lot of political power with regard to our freedom. As people, as women specifically in the States, and I feel like specifically in the womb, and I really feel like I really did think about this for some time, and I feel like as beings, we should get to decide what we do with our bodies. I really feel that way, regardless of our gender, and it shouldn't matter what our choices are, as long as we're in integrity with it and we are aware of the repercussions of it. And I know that this is a very touchy topic, and I'm not going to get too much into it at this moment, but I would definitely invite you to come to our live 90-minute webinar. There is a small fee for that, so you can find out more on our website, regarding the Womb Rage live webinar for 90 minutes. It's going to be held on September 13th. So if this has been bothering you and you want a space to really channel your feelings into creation, I would definitely recommend that you come. So those are the few offerings that I have, as well as, of course, I always have discovery calls and my programs, both my personal mentoring and my group programs. And you may be also interested in joining my group in Guidely. It is Self-Love Daily, where I share prompts every day, 5 days a week, actually, focusing on self-love, and that have been really helping people to express themselves. Because I feel like part of this new template is allowing ourselves to be really, really authentic in all of our interactions, regardless of intimate, work, family, neighbors, it doesn't matter. When we are true and authentic with ourselves, we're tapping into our own power. And we're showing up for ourselves, which I feel is super important. We're balancing our energies, right? Our thoughts become actions, and we take action on it, And I feel like that is very important, because I feel like many of us who have been through chronic trauma, we've suppressed so much. And even if you don't think you've been through chronic trauma, many people have been suppressing themselves because they had to fit into these gender roles. They had to, perform all sorts of different things that have no relation to their own thought, because they thought that that's what society wanted of them. That's what their families wanted of them. There are numerous pressures that people have. But when we can really unlearn and dial that down so that we can actually be who we are and show up the way we truly are, at least as much as we are able to in our current conscious state, that really changes your life, and it changes the way that you interact with others. So that's what I wanted to share today. I feel like, as we are moving into our deeper, authentic selves and showing up for ourselves, one, our dreams come true, our abundance codes begin to become our reality. And, I've already shared 2. So 3, and we get to have really, really authentic relationships, first with ourselves, with the divine, and of course with others. So it's almost like a total win-win. But how does that all happen? And how are we solving the planet's problems, somebody might ask? Well, I feel like as we step into this, the planet's problems begin to get resolved, because more and more companies, more people are aware that these are not small things. I was just reading, it was a link on LinkedIn, how employers are getting really involved with their employees' lives. Like, how are they feeling about this particular situation, for those of you that live in the States, regarding the right to have an abortion or not. Or it could be like, because of the pandemic, how is your mental health? Do you need any assistance? Maybe we can assist you with exercise or meditation or wellness, because in the bigger scheme of things, if you are not healthy holistically, how are you going to be a good provider for the company? And not just that, companies really do care about their employees. And I feel like there's been a huge shift in terms of, a mentality of we care about you because you are part of our ecosystem. And it's not just companies, it's like families, it's neighborhoods, it's like people care. And I feel like this pandemic has assisted us in that transformation. And we have assisted ourselves by saying we care about ourselves. So it begins within. When you care about yourself, you're only going to attract and magnetize those that care about you. And if if that isn't happening yet, then there may be more work that needs to be done. Internally, externally, in a variety of different ways. And if you allow your womb space, your heart, your soul to guide you, you will be guided into the right places, such as our workshop, our live webinar and our live retreat, or my coaching services, or anything else that seems to be catching your eye, that you seem to be focused on. Well, that is there for a reason. So keep moving with that. See where that's leading you. and, schedule a free call or contact me, send me an email. I'd be more than happy to spend 15 minutes with you. I have free 15-minute chats that you can schedule on my website. So, take those opportunities with whomever you're resonating with, because this is a time to change your life. This is a time to actually shift. We think, I was actually thinking about this, gas prices are growing up. There's all sorts of things that are happening. I'm not immune to this, and neither are you. Though, with every up, there's a down. With every change, there's a shift. So we really don't have anything to worry about. So don't allow your mind, the invitation is, do not allow your mind to focus on worry. Allow your mind to focus on expansion. It is the way it is now. We're not changing anything. We're accepting what is. But as we accept what is, we can then move into what will be. And we're not even, even if you don't focus on the future too much, which is not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is being in the present, accepting what is in the present for you, and being grateful for it allows more of that into your life. So, one, always accepting what is, being thankful for it, and really stepping into your own soul's codes by listening to your own wisdom. If you're focused like I am on unity consciousness and wholeness and true authenticity, rawness, and realness, then that's what's going to happen to you. Those are the kind of shifts that are going to happen into your life as you allow them, as you receive them, as you step into them. So I'm really, really excited about our podcast that I'm going to be sharing very soon on Women Who Write, and talking about our live retreat in October and our live webinar in September, as well as my offerings for personal group and personal mentoring. And so if any of that is resonating with you, please feel free to schedule a 15-minute discovery call with me right on my website at gilanahemi.com, or send me an email at gila@gilanahemi.com. If you have any feedback on this podcast, if you'd like to hear some more topics on how to do some things, if you'd like some more techniques on what will help you to step into your abundance codes, or step into more wholeness and unity and sovereignty within yourself, definitely let me know. I'd be more than happy to get into some more detail if that is what you are desiring. I want to just thank you for being you, for listening today, for having patience, for sharing this with your friends. I really, really appreciate you. And I love to hear what you have to say, and to incorporate your thoughts or your ideas into this podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Om Shanti, Namaste, Shalom. Let us just take 3 deep breaths to close this space. So take 3 deep breaths with me right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can hear more on this and other topics on my website, gilanahemi.com. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye-bye.